Hello, good evening. This is the first live class, which is going to be a hybrid session. I'll explain what is hybrid session. The occasion of celebrating 10 years of YouTube channel Anesthesia Tools. The Anesthesia Tools is now available on the Android platform for your tablets, phones, iOS for your iPhone, iPad, and it's also available on Microsoft platform on your laptop or desktop for a bigger screen experience. So each student registering is entitled to either Android or iOS and Microsoft app. Okay, so today's lecture is going to be a hybrid lecture. For installation instructions and help, you can visit www.onlineanesthesiatools.com, where you'll get the link and the instructions to install the app in the respective devices. So why this lecture is a hybrid lecture is, in the first 20 days, this contents of this lecture will be supported by a Kahoot assignment as well. The link will be shown here along with the slides, respective questions. So you can go to Kahoot and then join with the game pin provided, and you can complete the assignment by the side of this lecture or after the lecture. So this assignment will be active for 20 days from the day of live broadcasting. And after that, I'll be putting the answer key. So it's about self-learning. It's about happy learning. Thank you for joining Anesthesia Tools. So let's get going. See, these are the most common causes of cardiac arrest, especially if you are discussing about adult cardiac arrest. These are the 5 H's and 5 T's. I'm not going to explain in details because I know that you'll be handling code blue scenarios very often during your training period or in your professional life. H's include hypovolemia, hypoxia, hydrogen ion, that is acidosis, hypo or hyperkalemia, hypothermia, and the T's: tension pneumothorax, tamponade, cardiac, toxins, pulmonary thrombosis, or coronary thrombosis. So here's the first question. Identify the ECG pattern. So either you can scan the QR code provided, or you can move to this website, https://kahoot.it, kahoot.it, and enter the game pin 010-91251. 010-91251. So once you enter the game pin, you can leisurely, your own pace, you can answer that. You can find the answers and the explanation I'll be posting inside the course as a PDF format after 20 days. Okay. Again, the second question is identify the ECG. The ECG pattern is given. Yes. This is the third ECG. When you join Kahoot with the game pin, you will get these slides there also. So this is to make the learning more interactive, because as we go along, self-assessment should also go hand in hand. So two options, either you can scan the QR code given here and then directly go to the link, or kahoot.it and enter the game pin provided. ECG number 4, again identify the ECG. These are classic ECG patterns which postgraduates should be definitely clear about. Okay, and this is the 5th ECG, identify the ECG pattern. Okay, so ACLS or cardiac life support is a team effort. So AHA says, American Heart Association says, we need 6% for effective cardiac life support. So here is the team leader. This picture is very interesting because it depicts so many information, so much of information in very brief picture. Okay, this is the victim. There is one person handling the airway. Okay, he has some responsibilities. Chest compressor standing by the side of the victim, by the side of the victim's chest. Right opposite, there is a person in charge of defibrillator. Okay, there will be a timer. Preferably, timer can stand this location so that you'll be able to see what all things are happening. There is a person dedicated for intravenous or intraosseous access and the medications, blood labs, everything. And the team leader is the key person. Team leader should be positioned near the foot end and should be moving along because he's supposed to give the orders what next, and who should do what, and keep the harmony to provide effective resuscitation so that we'll get return of spontaneous circulation, the best chance of returning. Okay, so this picture is very important. So CPR coach can be here, can be the person managing defibrillation, or CPR coach can stand here and then check whether the basic life skills are being followed properly. Okay, so this picture is very important. This is an important concept that American Heart Association is actually emphasizing effective team dynamics. So my personal experience is this is not only applicable for the resuscitation or in code blue scenarios, it's applicable for any crisis management inside our anesthesia practice or acute medicine practice. So we need to define the roles. We should know what to communicate, and of course, how to communicate is also important in most scenarios. Clear roles and responsibilities. Each member, the participant, even the team leader should know his or her limitations. There should be scope for constructive interventions. Okay. Now, what to communicate? There should be knowledge sharing. There should be frequent summarizing and re-evaluating so that the effective code progresses to a fruitful outcome. So how to communicate? You should know what is closed loop communication. Your messages should be clear, and you should also get trained to behave with mutual respect. We'll take one by one. Now, your next self-assessment question. If you are the code team leader and arrive to find a patient with CPR in progress, on the next rhythm check, you see the rhythm shown here. You can see the ECG pattern. Team members tell you that the person was well, but reported chest discomfort and then collapsed. She has no pulse or respirations. Back mask ventilations are producing visible chest rise, and intraosseous access has been established. Which intervention would be your next action? So now you know the scenario, you know the ECG. What is your next action? So you can go to this link, kahoot.it, use this game pin. If you're already joined, you can continue with that, or you can scan this QR code also for that. Okay. So this is the ACLS algorithm. If you look carefully, ACLS starts with the adding to what has been happening during BLS sequence, basic life support sequence. So here you start supplementing oxygen and you are attaching the monitor, and defibrillator also should be available, especially when the code blue team arrives. So now, depending on the ECG scenario, you can divide into two, whether the shock is indicated or not. Rhythm shockable, yes. Ventricular fibrillation and pulseless VT. Okay, VT without pulse. I'm not telling about the VT with pulse. So now you can look back at the scenario just explained, think about it and proceed. So VT, pulseless VT and ventricular fibrillation, earliest you give defibrillation, which is going to give you a positive result. So you go ahead with the defibrillation. Okay. Then all defibrillation should be continued with 2 minutes of CPR. Never look into the ECG before you finish CPR for 2 more minutes after defibrillation. This is important because what defibrillation does is it is going to create a complete electrical silence, and then it gives an opportunity for the normal pacemaking cells to start dominating the scenario and probably give you a stable rhythm. Okay, for that, what is required? A transient revision of ECG is not going to help you. It has to be sustained. So you make sure you continue, back it up with the 2 minutes of chest compressions and rescue breaths, the 30 is to 2 business, so that the heart cardiac muscles will get enough ATP reserves and energy stores so as to continue with the shock success. So you decide whether the shock has been successful or not only after finishing another 2 minutes of CPR. Next self-assessment question. A patient is in cardiac arrest. Ventricular fibrillation has been refractory to second shock. Which drug should be administered first? Atropine 1 milligram IV IO, epinephrine 1 milligram IV intraosseous, lidocaine 1 milligrams per kg IV or intraosseous, sodium bicarbonate 50 milliequivalents. Okay, this is milliequivalents, intravenous or intraosseous. Again, the link remains the same. If you can join the Kahoot assignment, you can go ahead with the question number 7. Question number 8. If a patient is in refractory ventricular fibrillation, high quality CPR is in progress, 1 dose of epinephrine was given after the second shock, and antiarrhythmic drug was given immediately after the third shock. You are the team leader. Which medication do you order next? Epinephrine 1 milligram, epinephrine 3 milligrams, sodium bicarbonate 50 milliequivalents. So you can go to Kahoot and put the answer, say right or wrong. So after 20 days, I'll be uploading a PDF format answer key in the course in your AnesthesiaTOOLS app. Something about double sequential defibrillation, because AHA has been mentioning about double sequential defibrillation, and we are all waiting for the 2025 guidelines to come up. Double external defibrillation, DED, is another set where administration of more joules during transthoracic defibrillation allows for the conversion of all the myocytes out of refractory ventricular fibrillation. That is the logic or hypothesis. Regarding vasopressors during cardiac arrest, AHA has clearly mentioned that giving epinephrine as soon as possible in cardiac arrest with non-shockable rhythms, unless there is a clearly reversible cause that can be addressed rapidly. Regarding interruptions in chest compression, this is a beautiful diagram. So you can see when the chest compression starts, the coronary perfusion gradually picks up. So there is a better chance for ROSC. That is the idea of chest compression fraction. So this terminology you should be very clear about. Chest compression fraction, or CCF. Something about cardiac arrest in pregnancy in hospital ACLS algorithm. I think this could well be a short answer question. So this is another nice infographic called Maternal cardiac arrest team. Obstetrician with scalpel should arrive. Obstetric and cardiac anesthetist should be there. Neonatologist. Adult cardiac arrest team, ECMO team if available. Consider transesophageal or transthoracic echocardiogram. So these are the preparations when we actually activate a maternal cardiac arrest team. Chest compressions and manual left uterine displacement, chest compression ratio no change, hand placement lower part of sternum. Use backboard as far as possible, or you can have a human wedge or Cardiff wedge to maintain the left uterine displacement. Swipe or change provider every 2 minutes. It's the same. Manual uterine displacement should be maintained. Defibrillation, if it is indicated, yes, why not defibrillate? There is no change. So take home message, team dynamics is one of the key messages from ACLS, which we can imbibe into our day-to-day anesthesia practice or critical care practice or any acute medicine practice. So each link is important. Just as we mentioned about the chain of survival, the AHA has come out with the 6th link, that is the recovery link. We'll discuss about that in a subsequent module. But the message I would like you to remember is a chain is as strong as its weakest link. So our aim to intervene at the weakest link. So if it is BLS steps, make sure the BLS steps are done properly. That is why the constructive intervention, the mutual respect, everything comes into play. The team dynamics is something that is going to win the case for you. So timeout for surgical safety checklist is important. Again, this is the one time when we reassess or recuperate to practice the team dynamics so that everybody will be in the same page with regard to knowing about the patient's surgery, the site of surgery, the preparedness, whether the difficult airway is anticipated, whether how much blood loss is expected, whether antibiotics, pre-op antibiotics is given or what is the status, and is there any key steps from the surgical side, from anesthesia side, or the scalp nurse side. So we are all in the same page. So that is how we maintain the team dynamics when it comes to our anesthesia practice, and surgical safety checklist helps you with this. So with that, I wind up this session for the day. Thank you very much for being with me. Hope you will take the opportunity to take the assignment provided in the Kahoot. The game pin, everything has been mentioned. The answer key will be provided within the anesthesia Viva was course. Through this course, this lecture was coming live for the Viva was or Viva table course in anesthesia tools that be provided in 20 days time. With that, I conclude. Any questions, you can text me to through the chat. Okay, and we'll keep in touch through the Anesthesia Tools app. Anytime, feel free to provide your feedback. Please take a few moments to write the review in the Anesthesia Tools app so that I can make it more useful and productive for all the students or team members. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for happy learning with the anesthesia tools. It's me, Dr. Sanish, signing off. Thank you.